Me and Dom are out here. It's 5:30. We're headed down to the coast to hit the storage unit again. Dom's going to be my extra set of eyes.
Yes.
And we're going to...
South Carolina, right?
South Carolina,
Yes.
man. So it's a 3.5 hour drive from here. So
Yeah.
he ate his Wheaties. We're ready to go.
It's going to be dope.
Oh. Alright guys, here's the spoils from yesterday's haul. Oh yeah, I got lots of juicy stuff. Pink Floyd, the Beatles. Oh man, yeah. Lots of Hendrix. Oh man. Good morning. We are back. A couple days after the fact, we went on Monday, and this is Wednesday. I wanted to tell you guys kind of why I went back and all that stuff. This is a good insight into owning a record store if this is something that you ever want to do. So I went down there the first time, if you watch my last video, and I got there at 6 a.m. and I was really just trying to hurry through the whole thing because I knew a bunch more people were coming at 8. So I had 2 hours to look at, I don't know, thousands and thousands of records anyways. I got in there and kind of zipped through everything as fast as I possibly could, picked out the obvious stuff, you know, some of the bigger Jimi Hendrix, the Mo-Fi's, the Pink Floyd stuff, just the real big obvious stuff. Just pulled every bit of it out. And so then by the time I got done with that and we went and negotiated and all that stuff, I barely slept the night before and really needed to get home. You know, I know my limits of when I can drive and how tired I am, and I was at my limit. I needed to go home. And so as much as I wanted to stay and dig, I was like, I did the best I could and I went home. So then, you know, I was talking to Dom, and he loves going on road trips and digging and stuff like that. Obviously, everybody does, but he wanted to go back, and I was like, well, screw it. I mean, we'll go back and we'll have a good time. And I love hanging out with Dom. He's a very busy man, and so am I, so we don't get enough time together, but really enjoyed the time hanging out with him, and it's nice having somebody else in the car with you when you're driving 8 hours in one day. But so we went down there, and basically my objective, it was, I remembered that I left a lot of things behind for 2 reasons. You know, one thing was I was just pulling out the big stuff at first. You know, when you're digging, the speed digging, you know, you pick out the obvious stuff, you know, and then stuff like, you know, Billy Joel and Hart and Fleetwood Mac and stuff like that. You know, you leave that stuff a lot of times. If you're in a really big hurry and you're just focusing on the big stuff, that stuff can just go under the radar and you don't really think about it because it's stuff you see all the time. You know, whatever, you're not gonna miss it. But as I was thinking about it, when you're on a record store, you got to buy a lot of stuff that you wouldn't normally think about. Like there's so much stuff like that I just left because I was more focused on getting the big ticket items. When you need to buy that stuff just as much or more than you need to buy the big stuff. The big stuff, like that Pink Floyd Division Bell first press I got, all those MoFis, that's the stuff that really makes people drool and gets the collectors in the shop. But, by and large, most collectors, they're not going to spend a lot. I mean, I would say the majority of collectors, they're at different ranges, and a lot of them won't spend more than $50 on a record. So, your bread and butter with a record store is not the big records. It's not the $50 and up records. It's the $5 to the $10 records. I mean, anything 20 and below, that's what most people buy. So if you're skimping on that stuff and you're just throwing stuff up on the wall, you're not going to make as much money. And so keep the business going. Keep rent coming in. What makes rent is Fleetwood Mac rumors. That is the ticket. So I went back. I remembered there was a bunch of stuff like that I didn't get. And then also, one of the reasons I skipped some things were obviously I missed some stuff, because I was going so fast. And he said 14,000 records. There was a lot of records. So I know I missed some stuff, but so I just kind of wanted to take a little bit more time to get through each thing, and Don was looking as well, his second set of eyes for me. But like, just for instance, this is he had these labels on everything. So this was in his collection. He cataloged everything. It would say, Stevie Ray Vaughan, 1984, Chainsaw Boogie, and it would have like the catalog number, and it would have the condition, and then it would have like a value on what he thought the value was. And he kind of based his pricing off of that value. He would give me a percentage off because he knew I was buying a lot. But like this one, for instance, it says $150 on this one, and I was just like, I'm not touching that because I know I probably can't make that much on that one. So stuff like that I just totally left behind. I didn't think anything of it. I just like, whatever, I can't, I'm probably not going to be able to negotiate down to a price that's reasonable enough for me, and he needs to make more money or whatever. He probably spent more, so whatever. And so that stuff I just kind of left behind. And while we were negotiating last time, he was like, if there's anything that's kind of a high on price, if you can pull it up on Discogs or something and show me, I'll do whatever Discogs says. I just, and so I went back to kind of use the time I had to pull some of that stuff out that we could work on the price on. And man, he was so reasonable and really, really, really nice guy. And he ended up saying, oh yeah, that's way too much. We'll do this or we'll do that. And so we were able to, I think I might have got more records this time than I did last time. So I'll kind of take you through some of them. I'm not going to run you through all the basic stuff. I mean, and when I say basic stuff, it's still good stuff. It's just cheaper stuff that's, you see it every day, but that's what keeps the store in business. So, like I said, Fleetwood Mac rumors, Billy Joel, Billy Idol, the Beatles, like solo records, and some of like the Beatles records that aren't the great ones, some of the US comp type things, the Eagles, stuff like that. So stuff that's good stuff, but it's not something that you guys are going to want to watch a huge video about. But I mean, I'm telling you, when you have a record store, that's the one big surprising thing to me about having a record store is, when a lot of collectors, they've been in for a while, they don't think about what it was like kind of at the beginning of the first couple of years when you just want to go in and you want to get a solid copy of Led Zeppelin 3, or you want to get a solid copy of whatever album you liked when you were young. I mean, it might be Boston or Meatloaf or something like that. The cheap records, and that's the stuff you gotta have, because that's gonna sell. I was telling my wife this last night, like, you're gonna sell $110 records before you'll sell $100 records, and that's a fact. So you gotta keep that stuff going, because that's really the lifeblood of the store. So anyways, I want to show you I'm just gonna run you through some of the cool things I got, and don't get all excited. This stuff isn't getting dropped right away. I gotta work on this stuff. I've got, this past Saturday, I put out over 1,000 records. It was crazy. And so I've got a lot of stuff still in the shop. Like it's still really, really stacked in there. And then I've got this huge jazz collection that I bought that we're getting through, and we're pricing and all that stuff. So this stuff I'm going to be working on. And some of the stuff I actually am going to be keeping, like this Stevie Ray Vaughan bootleg I'm going to be keeping because I've never seen it before. And I think it's really cool. This is another, hold on, where is it? This is another Stevie Ray Vaughan bootleg. I had this a long time ago, like in maybe the second collection I had. And I loved it. Ended up having to sell it when times got rough. I'm a sucker for bootleg. This Jeff Beck bootleg. I want to listen to it. If they sound really good, I will keep them. So that one I'm excited about keeping. This one is a No Way Out. It's Pink Floyd. It might be a David Gilmour bootleg. I've seen it around, but I've never heard it. It says Pink Floyd, but No Way Out. Just kind of a cool. The tag says limited edition, only 50 copies, but I'm a little skeptical of that figure. I think I've seen it a little bit more than that, but very, very cool bootleg that I didn't have. This is one that is kind of a little bit of a mystery. We had to really negotiate on the price, but this is a White Album, and as y'all know, the White Album's probably my favorite Beatles album. But this is the DMM Direct Metal Mastering Weiss white vinyl pressing on German. Now there's a lot of like US white vinyl, and then like I've seen the UK white vinyl. This one's a little bit of a different special version. Man, I'm sorry, but the light on this video, it started hitting me after I started filming, but it's got all posters and everything. It's just a really cool white album on white vinyl. It's different than the US white ones, and so I was excited to get that. Not many copies of that have gone up for sale online, and the ones that have gone for kind of a lot. So we had to really negotiate on that one because in my mentality, like, I know that it's not true, but like I'm basing it kind of based off of like, okay, well the US white vinyl might go for, $100 or so. So this might go for a little bit more, but whatever. But I think it's a little bit more special than that. This is one I don't know how I missed last time. This is the Chicago Transit Authority. Chicago's first record is a MoFi. I'm not a Chicago fan. I don't like Chicago very much, but this record is phenomenal. A really, really killer record. That's the one. I'm always looking for the perfect copy of it, and then a lot of times you find them and they're totally trashed. So I find a MoFi in perfect shapes and amazing. This is really cool. It's Robin Trower autographed. I love Robin Trower. I've talked about it over and over again. Robin Trower is one of those artists that, for whatever reason, pretty underrated, and his albums are cheap. You can get them $3 to $5 all day long, and they are shred worthy. If you like Jimi Hendrix, Rory Gallagher, stuff like that, you really want to check out Robin Trower. I love him. So to get those autographed, I mean, this guy, he went to a lot of shows. He got a lot of people to autograph a lot of things, so I've got some really cool autographs in here as well that we had to negotiate on. This is just a Crash Landing. It's a white label promo of it. You guys know I collect promos, so and I love that Hendrix record. So, and then I'll just kind of like, I probably do a little bit of a flip on some of the other stuff, but this is just like a really cool Hendrix comp, Australian. I've seen a bunch of these rock legends, like Australian comps of stuff. This is, I think, a UK 12-inch, EP, got Gloria on it. Just a regular old Who Quadrophenia, but you gotta have it. This is like a newer Bob Marley legend on some like gold vinyl. This is kind of a rare 95 Stevie Ray Vaughan and Double Trouble greatest hits. Pretty cool. This is one I get asked for at the shop all the time. Downward Spiral, 9 Inch Nails, Still Sealed. This is a first mono fuel Sunburn. I don't know how I missed this the first time. I definitely would have grabbed it. And there's a bunch of Warren Zevon autographed. So Warren Zevon 96. So he told me the story about how he met him and got him to autograph these and stuff. And then like he had a couple of these like Palace pressings of Nevermind. Just stuff that's not, maybe not get your juices flowing, but it's stuff that's good for the shop. This is one I'll probably keep as well. This is Robin Trower bootleg. I just want to listen to it and see what it's like. I'll do a quick flip here in a minute, but I got probably another 100 Hendrix records from him because he said he had 250, and I got just about all of them between last trip and this trip. He kept a stack about that big of Hendrix stuff that he wanted to keep, but the rest of them, I think I got them. So this is one Lou Reed autographed. This is he had a big price tag on this one the first time, so I kind of skipped out on it. This is a double platinum. It's got all the inserts and all that stuff. This one is really cool. I've never seen this bootleg before. It's called Loaded Guitar. And I'm gonna listen to this and I'll probably end up keeping it. It's got the gold vinyl, really cool. And I wanted it last time, but it was another one that kind of had a big price tag on it. It scared me a little bit. This is another one, Hendrix Live in Maui. This is still sealed. I mean, I think you can still get these. I don't think it's that rare or anything, but I just listened to a couple clips off of this concert, and it is unreal. The way he plays, like he's got a version of Voodoo Child, and it's like so psychedelic, man. I mean, his guitar effects are out of this world, and I was like, man, I really want to grab that. I listened to that this week, and I was back and saw that, and I was like, whoa. So wish you were here. Pictured it's just kind of cool. This is a Pink Floyd bootleg. So I might just do like a flip video and kind of show you guys just some of the rest of the stuff. This is just some of it. I didn't want to show some of the simpler stuff, but this is, he had a bunch of Little Feet stuff autographed. I went back and got some more of it. Just really cool. Cactus, epic stuff. Ton of Hendrix stuff. Some of it, you know, I've never even seen before. Kind of crazy. Thank y'all so much for watching this video and just kind of listening to me talk about the dig. I wanted it to be more of a just kind of an insight of what it's like to have a record store when you go out on these big digs and stuff that you look for, you know. And I think one of the most important things is to buy for your customers, not buy for yourself, you know, because a lot of times, you know, every shop has a lean, you know. Some shops are they lean more towards punk, some lean more towards metal, you know, some lean more towards classical or whatever. So when you go in a shop and you meet the owner, you're like, okay, this makes sense. You know, your radar is out for this type of music more. When you come to my shop, it probably leans more towards like funk, soul, psych, stuff like that. You know, kind of rare stuff that gets me excited because that's what I'm out looking for. My passion drives me, but at the same time, you gotta also buy for the customers and people that are just getting into it, as well as people that have been into it for years. So anyways, thanks for listening to me talk for this long. Hope you guys have a great day. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Follow us on Instagram at Noble Records. Appreciate it. So me and Dom are here at the shop. It's 5:30.